Hey, what's up? We're going to look at more Modern Horizons spoilers. I think all I have to do is change this RNA to MH1 and we will be where we want to be with Ravenous Giant. Look at that. Look at that big boy. Look at him chow down. I like how he's missing one of his horns too. Magic art is always good for showing kind of realistic levels of damage and decay and stuff. It's not just like a pristine shot of what looks like under ideal circumstances, but it's an actual snapshot of this giant's life. It's a 5/5 for 5. It deals 1 damage to you. This kind of feels like a very classic design to me. It feels like this is maybe completely a color shifted version of some other card, or mechanically identical to some old card. Sure, it's not that exciting these days though. Just to get 5 toughness or 5/5 power for 4 mana isn't really that exciting anymore. But sure. Glacial Revelation. You're the top 6 cards of your library and put any number of snow permanent cards from among them into your hand, put the rest onto your graveyard. Now, to me, the fact that they're making this here and now, when you compare that to Stirrings, now Stirrings I think probably is more powerful than they'd like to go. And sure, this gets you any number of snow permanents, but it's snow permanents. And it's 3 mana. This is colorless cards. That's artifacts, that's lands, that's Eldrazi, that's any number of degenerate things. For 1 mana! They know they cannot go too far in this direction again. Alright, sure, that's fine though. If there is like a snow deck, I guess this could be value for it. But I'm not really anticipating the snow deck to ever become competitive, so sure. Altar of Dementia. Okay. Sacrifice a creature. Target player puts the number of cards equal to the sacrifice creature power on the top of their library. The graveyards, you sack, they mill. I don't really see it happening. This is a reprint, I guess, from way back in Tempest and then Conspiracy. I think none of the mill decks can really make use of this. Because the whole idea of playing mill is that you don't have to play powerful creatures. That's like what benefit you get from deck building around mill, is that you don't have to devote resources to your normal win cons. So it's like, why would you have a high power creature? Why would you be playing that at all if you're just trying to mill them out? But sure, it's a card that it definitely isn't going to hurt Modern being in it. If there is some sort of deck that makes this work, it's going to be so interesting that I'm okay with it, but I severely doubt that will ever happen. No. Ayula's Influence. It's kind of ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Cards like this, and like Seismic Assaults, or anything else that's like discard lands. Let's see. It feels like they're almost building up to like a cycle of these. And I know one of the red ones, I think there's a couple red ones that are similar to this. Oops. Yeah, no. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'm thinking like Molten Voltex is similar. Seismic Assault, of course, is like the direct mirror that they're making here. These cards sometimes see fringe play in decks that have you drawing your entire library, and then this is kind of like a win con. Usually Seismic Assault is going to be strictly better than just making bears because it's just direct damage and then you just win. You make bears, you still have to untap with them. But it's much more exciting and fun. And I think this could be, excuse me, pretty nice and limited too. As just a way to, like once you've kind of curved out, you turn all of your dead draws into bears. So cool, but not happening. None of these cards are ever going to be played fairly in Constructed. It's more going to be as a payoff for some draw all the lands out of your deck type scheme. or just draw your entire deck in general. And in that case, I can't see how this is better than Seismic Assault, especially because Seismic Assault you can pay for with Simian Spirit Guides and such too. So, unless they reprint Elvish Spirit Guide, which I highly doubt, we probably won't be seeing much of this bearification ritual. I love it though. I love it. The bear is coming out of the ground. Look at this. The flavor is that she makes these runic claw marks in the ground, and then bears pop out whenever she wants. I love you, Ayula. No, Charlie. Alright, you're having some fun here, Scryfall. I can't... This is like some... like soldier... wish fulfillment soldier? Transparent soldier? This is like, I don't know. It's like, even if I do recognize it in Japanese, which is sometimes sketchy because Chinese just has so many more characters and so many of them look so similar to Japanese characters that I already know. So sometimes it's like I don't actually know which one I'm reading. And then even if I do, sometimes the meanings are so different between Chinese and Japanese, it's like, whatever. Okay, so this guy just taps stuff down. This is kind of cool. It's conditional. Compared to other things that just tap for tap, which we can find quick. Is it formatted like, oh, yeah, we can just do that, add symbol. Oh yeah, it is like that. Tap, target creature. Man, Skyfall is so good. So most of them have a mana cost. It's pretty rare that you get just straight up tap for tap. And usually it's like still conditional or it's a little more expensive. So this is kind of exciting. It's pushing into new space. And in the decks that want to play cards like this, where basically you're playing like a tempo deck, I just realized he's riding on a zebra unicorn. Oh, that's what this is a reference to, is Charlie the Unicorn. Oh, I had no idea why it was called No Charlie. Remember those cartoons? So basically these decks are always just trying to stay ahead on tempo. So you're playing these to kind of lock down their bigger threats while you just continually pump out smaller threats and synergetic threats. So yeah, this like might be okay, but I kind of doubt it. The fact that it's a human is quite relevant for the sort of decks that want to play this. But I think the humans deck just doesn't care. They have so many other ways of bouncing stuff with like Reflector Mage, and they don't need to just tap things down. It's not necessary. Ooh, a new Sisay. Ooh, how exciting. So Sisay in the past, her big play was tutoring up legendaries. So I wonder if she'll do something similar. I would think they'd have to make some sort of reference to her stuff. Ah, see? Ooh, gets +1/+1 for each color among other legendary creatures you control. Could man cost ooh, that put that power onto the battlefield. That put that card onto the battle. Whoa, okay, alright, I'm all about this. This is so cool. This is very cool. This is definitely EDH bait. Even I can recognize that. I had a conversation with my friend yesterday about Urza, and how apparently the EDH community is just flipping out about Urza and how strong he seems and how he's shot to the top speculatively of the competitive EDH tier list, or near the top at least. And I was like, what? Really? Like, it doesn't seem that good to me. And then I realized, like, as I kind of broke down all the things that about like how I thought he would work, but like none of them apply to EDH. Like kind of deck building restrictions that I thought would make it kind of awkward to put a suite of cards to support him. No, in EDH you just have room to do that. And the idea of a combo being too expensive, it's like, whatever, you have 40 life, you're not going to die that quickly. Your combo is like fast enough probably. All this sort of stuff, like I realized, oh, and like the kind of scarcity of combo pieces, he's your commander. You don't have to draw him, he's just always there. It's just mind-blowing for me as someone who doesn't really think about that format that much. It makes it really hard for me to actually evaluate cards for it. Like, there's cards that I know are for EDH. Like, this is clearly, to me, meant for you to be your commander and have a whole synergetic deck built around her. But I couldn't tell you if that deck is good or not. I just think it would be a cool deck. That's all I can recognize. And the actual evaluation steps to get from that would be a cool deck to like that's going to be a broken or at least extremely powerful deck. I don't know. I just can't get my head around it. So like, what does this do? This I'm gonna assume is like not that hard to get in EDH, having access to WUBRG. So let's say you can just do this every turn, and then you get into a pretty cool situation where you're like tutoring up a bunch of legendaries to make this kind of curve where she gets stronger and stronger. At most, she's going to be a 7/7, so then you're tutoring in various 6-drop legendaries. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool. But I'm going to say, but tutoring is so strong in a 100-card singleton format. Maybe this is still really good. And there's like a lot of toolbox type legendary stuff. The fact that it's put that card onto the battlefield and not cast it for free is kind of awkward, because a lot of legendaries have cast triggers instead of ETB triggers. But it's maybe not a big deal. I don't know. I mean, constructed, it's unfortunately just not happening. Not happening. EDH, who knows? I hope EDH players at least like it. I hope I'm at least able to evaluate that I can imagine there being a cool deck built around this, and that's accurate. And that they're not looking at this and being like, oh, this is going to be so lame. I can't, I'm going to dread playing against this, and whatever. I don't know. Oh, Squirrel Nest! Squirrel Nest? Are you for real right now? Squirrel Nest? Oh, hell yeah. We like back in it with the squirrels. So this is one part of the Squirrel Infinite combo. Let's maybe just look that up quick so I can remember what it actually does. Exactly. So you have Squirrel Nest and Earthcraft. Yeah, these two cards together just give you infinite tapped squirrel tokens. Yeah. It's fun as hell. It's very silly. It's a very fragile combo requiring 2 enchantments. And it doesn't even win you the game that turn, and then there's a lot of counterplay that just can delete all squirrels. But you have like Graham's number of squirrels, and then you untap with them, and hopefully it's GG. But then, more than this, I kind of like this combo as just an aspect of a greater squirrel tribal thing, where you have like your deranged hermits, and you have your other squirrel creators and buffers and stuff. And then it's more like you're playing this grindy green weenie value game, and then you just sort of hope you combo off. Whereas this build looks like it's much more about just trying to get the combo going as soon as possible and protecting it. This card is so funny. I love whenever they kind of do a flavorful look at associating a bunch of creature types. You know, like normally creature types are like pretty much just distinct from each other. Like cards will only care about one creature type at a time. But then occasionally there's things like this. Insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so I love that this is back. I would love for them to just give as much support to squirrels in Modern as possible, because it'll never be tier 1. I would be shocked if this could ever add up to like a decent competitive deck. But if it's like a fringe deck, if it's like a deck that you could maybe run into and at your local events or something, that would make me very happy. So this is one step of getting there. We need something like Earthcraft, though, if they actually want to put the combo in Modern. But maybe they don't. I don't know. Ooh, a Snowman Land. A Snowman Land. Yay! That sounds so cute. Turns into a construct. Sure. Combat damage to a creature. Tap that creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. This is actually pretty nice as like a defensive man land. as a way to like really buy yourself some tempo when they're coming in with big threats. I think it's decent, but more in kind of like a limited scenario. And it's awkward, of course, that it can turn itself, like this is snow mana because it's from a snow land, but you can't block with it once you've tapped it, so it's a little awkward. But sure, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. It just means that you need more snow support, which is kind of like a deck building. Well, I guess you can just run your snow basics. Good Fortune Unicorn. Okay. Ever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, +1/+1/+1 counter on that unicorn. Nice. Cute. Catching even a glimpse of one is the start of 8 years of good luck. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, Charlie. Thundering Din. Convert attacks and deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Ooh, now that is very fun. Strikes like a bolt from a brainstorm. Hey! Because if you brainstorm and then you swing with it, it'll hit for 3. Which is like a lightning bolt! Because brainstorm draws you 3 cards! Oh, beautiful. Actually, though, if it's your turn, it's going to be for 4 if you brainstorm, because you've already drawn a card at the start of your turn, but whatever. Very, very clever flavor text. Very cool mechanic. Very synergetic with like a lot of things that you're wanting to do in both of these colors already. One, I guess, awkward thing is that if you're playing red, probably a lot of the draws you're doing are... No, that's not even true, because if you're doing looting effects and stuff, those are straight up draws. I was thinking more like if you're doing like impulse drawing and stuff, but it's not about card advantage. It's not about the number of net cards you're up. It's about the number of cards you've drawn, period. So this gets like actually really scary with stuff like Cathartic Reunion, Goblin Lore, Faithless Looting, etc., etc. Those all just become like bolts additionally. So I don't know. This thing is actually kind of tempting to think that it could slot in somewhere. In some really tempo-y card advantage is a deck. The awkward thing is that it's not that good with actual bolts and burn itself, even though you're kind of playing this aggressive burn them out strategy. And 5 is also terribly expensive for a deck like that. So I'm more skeptical than not. But it's just so cool. Maybe, I think it's like maybe worth a try, because then you can kind of reorient your cantrip package to be like you're already playing a lot of looting effects and stuff, I'm sure, but now you can be like a little more greedy with it. It's not like you have to like split your focus between cantripping and burning. It just does both. Oh, but you have to untap with it too. I don't know. It's very cool though. Etchings of the Chosen. So there's a battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the Chosen type get +1/+1. I like that they're doing this, because sometimes when you have tribal themes in a set like this, it's a little awkward because it kind of forces linearity in drafting. Whereas this is like any tribal deck that you're running, this is going to be a good pickup, well, assuming you can play these colors. But then, even in like a non-tribal situation, if you just have some good creatures, this is okay. I guess, I don't know, it's kind of utility, can make some plays happen. It's not that strong though, really. I like the art though, it's kind of cool. All these different creatures. Crypt Rats! Oh baby. If this doesn't have, you may have any number of cards in your deck called Crypt Rats, I'm going to be sad. Or if maybe it'll have like a pack rat type effect where it's making more rats. Either way. Oh. To each creature and each player. Spend only black mana on X. Oh, this is a reprint. I was not familiar with this card. Sure. This is probably pretty useful in limited. As just like a mana sink. It kills itself, which is kind of funny. But late in the game, this is maybe a good way to restabilize. Ranger, Captain of Eos. Ooh, it's a mythic. 3, when it enters the battlefield, search for your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay. Sack it. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Interesting, interesting. And what is it? A 3/3? Okay, a 3/3. So it's very pushed. Stat-wise, this is of course very pushed, and it does 2 pretty relevant things. Here you can see a bird that he can get, or you can get a nice Savannah Lion, which is a 2/1 for 1. Back when that was a very exciting thing. But I don't think this is necessarily for the White Waney deck. I think this is more about combo. This is like tutoring up combo pieces and then using the second ability to push it through. So if there's a combo out there that requires like a 1-mana creature, which I'm sure there is, maybe this is relevant. Maybe I kind of think that this is the only way that it's good. Because if you're just doing it to get like value, just to get like another guy, and then he helps you out, like in Humans or something, I feel like there's just more dynamic plays you can make. Actually, no, maybe in Humans this is still pretty decent. Because like Humans, what's that guy? Well, actually, probably the thing to do is we'll look at the archetype and kind of see. So getting Noble Hierarch is actually pretty sweet. I was thinking about this guy, but there's like another guy that like is the opposite for kind of a more late game play. A lot of 2-drops and 3-drops. So really, in Humans as it is now, you're getting either Champion, which is not bad at all, or Noble, which is actually pretty cool because then it kind of ramps you up, or it gives you the opportunity to ramp. But it's more like at your 3-drop, would you really rather play this over Mantis Rider, which will just start beating them the F up? Because like this I don't think is that relevant against in the Humans matchup. Unless it's like some crazy kind of combo attack or something, but I don't know. I think more you just want to beat that out with Meddling Mage and Freebooter. You don't want to get to the point where you're... So I feel like this is more for just pushing through combos. And having like a decent sized body to apply pressure while you get your other combo pieces. What mana cost 1 or less? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe in some sort of generosity, I don't see it for sheer value, but that's how I'm feeling. But maybe I'm underestimating this. Maybe the consistency is good. Maybe they can make this deck a little more toolboxy. I don't know. It's exciting. And we saw this guy before, and that means we're caught up. Cool. Let's look forward to more. Are there prices now for more cards? Yeah, I was wondering where this guy would fall. That's not too surprising to me. All the big slivers are like like $100 or something. $30, but I think this is like the least desirable one. Legion, $91. This thing is crazy. It makes them so huge, and it's already a 7/7 itself. Oh, only $20, really? This one just tutors and gains control of target sliver, which is only useful in the mirror. But this I thought would be good. I guess it's maybe a little too slow. Because it's like, why do you need a specific sliver? You're just playing every sliver. Now you're playing slivers that cascade into slivers. This is $182. Good lord. But you can see why. Like, this is such a useful ability to just start pumping out slivers. And then there's our new guy. Cool. Man, what a cool creature type. What a cool mechanic. And just the way that it's popped up so infrequently, and yet every time they can still make a card like this that just makes people go crazy. It has that good pacing for that. How much is Urza up to, I wonder? $70. Goddamn. Oh, it'd be so much fun to draft this set. And all the Horizon lands are gonna be like really, really expensive, just forever and ever. Like, how are these gonna be bad? What's the red blue one up to? I bet it's over 40. Oh, 38. Okay. All right. That's all for now. See you tomorrow.